Greetings, Barbados. My name is Andrew Cave, the Democratic Labour Party spokesperson for Maritime Affairs. I want to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you that will be viewing and listening to this broadcast. First of all, I would like to thank God for life, and I would like to thank God for this nation, Barbados. I also want to thank my political leader and your leader of the opposition, the Honorable Ralph Thorne. Today, I want to salute our fisher folk, especially all of those who made time to speak to me so openly and candidly about their experiences and encounters. Fellow Barbadians, I'm not here to give you a plethora of words with vacuous meanings. Neither am I here to impress you, but to impress upon you the importance and significance of our fishing industry to the economy of Barbados. As you may know, our fishing industry is rooted in the DNA of our history and heritage. Our fish is imprinted on our currency, and it also flavors the plate of our national dish, cuckoo and flying fish. Every single day, our fishermen sail their vessels into the deep blue sea, not knowing if they would ever see their families again. The truth is that we too leave home every single day, not knowing if we can ever return to our families again either, especially because all that's happening in our society. We must know that these days are definitely funny days. Fortunately for us, though, if our vehicles break down, we have the option of calling auto rescue or any other business that provides that same type of business. However, if our fishing vessels break down or run into difficulties, who do they call? I truly believe that they should have a better structure system in place that whenever they run into difficulties or experience any difficulties with the engine, that they can receive assistance in a timely manner. Recently, I had a conversation with a fisherman, and I want to refer to him as Dr. J. No, Dr. J said that the vessel that he was sailing in ran into difficulties, and he tried to reach out to some nearby vessels unsuccessfully. He even tried to call the Coast Guard to no avail. Finally, he was able to reach out or to call the owner of the vessel, who then in turn was able to reach the Coast Guard, who then came 2 days later. Now, there are many various reasons why the Coast Guard took 2 days. Maybe the boat was too far out, uh, you know, but I don't want to get into that aspect of the scenario. My bone of contention here today is to bring to your attention the level of risk and discomfort that our fisher folk experience every single day. Daily, our fisher folk live the ABCD principle: above, beyond the call of duty. What happened to our fisher folk on the 1st of July 2024 should have never happened, where we encountered an unwelcome visitor called Hurricane Mirror. And at this time, I want to remember our brothers and sisters across the Caribbean and in the neighboring islands. I want us to just take a moment to remember them and continue to love and support them. Here in Barbados, we also were affected. Our fishing industry was affected. As a matter of fact, the fishing industry took a terrible hit, and it was told, or it was suggested to me, that the fishing industry was set back 5 to 10 years. Now, this is where it gets emotional because our fisher folk don't fish for a hobby. It's not a hobby. Our fisher folk fish because it's their livelihood. But let us continue. Imagine this. Between 75 to 80 boats sank. Almost 200 boats were damaged. And out of those 200 boats, 98% of those boats did not have insurance. This present government has suggested a grant fund of $2 million where the boat owners who incurred damages, and you understand these funds are supposed to cover 25% of the repair costs. Now, if we look at diesel for ice board, which is $4,000 to $4,500 per trip. If we consider a longliner, for diesel alone, it costs a longliner between $10,000 to $15,000 per trip. And this does not include ice for the fish or grub for the crew members. Now, let us understand this. If a fisherman receives one quarter of the funds needed to repair his boat, where is he going to find the other 75% to repair his boat? Especially without sufficient support, leaving our fishermen stranded in a cycle of debt and diminishing returns. We need to understand this. 85% of our population eats fish every single day. And out of the fish that are caught, 65% are flying fish. Now, I want us to take this into consideration. The significance of this invaluable industry should never be measured by the contribution that it makes to the GDP of this country. Therefore, I encourage every fisherman and every fishing woman in this country to place their hands in ours, and together let us all fish for a change. I charge the government of the day to sit down with all the insurance companies across this island so that we can spread the risk. Okay? In addition to that, we may need to engage international insurance companies so that they could act as reinsurers to mitigate the risk and to solve this problem that we have in this country. And the truth is that our boat owners need coverage, and they can be covered under one local or national body. So in addition to that, as it relates to the insurance premium, a core factor could be introduced where the fisherman could pay, or the boat owner rather, could pay between 20 to 50%, while the government of the day could subsidize 50 to 80% of that premium cost. Another option that we can consider is creating a contingency fund for our fisher folk, where every fisherman will put a specific amount of funds or agreed amount of funds into the contingency fund every single month, or it could be quarterly, semi-annual, or even annual. But it should be a specific amount agreed upon. Today, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Barbadians, we need to ask the hard questions. Do our fisher folk receive a subsidy for diesel from the government of Barbados? If the answer to that is no, we need to fish for change. Does our road taxis receive a subsidy from government? If the answer to that is yes, then what about our fisher folk? Our brick wall in the harbor needs to be repaired. We need to have a major refurbishment going on in our harbor. It needs to happen. It needs to happen now because the brick wall is destroyed by Beryl, and now the waves are able to come in and damage the boats that are docked in the harbor, even as we speak. This has to change. There's no place for our fishermen to haul their boats. This has to change. What about the fads? I spoke to a couple of fishermen and they said that they don't have enough fads in the sea. So the fads are supposed to attract fish so that they can yield a bigger catch. This has to change. Now, there's something that we need to consider. We import more fish than we export fish. Let me give an example. We import tons of tuna every single year. Have we ever gave birth to the thought or to explore the possibility to export flying fish in cans? Have we really been innovative? This has to change. Today, I implore and encourage all Bajans to let us acknowledge and appreciate the efforts of our dear fishermen and the invaluable contribution that they make to the 85% of us who eat fish in this country. Let us recognize the value of this industry and its contribution to our country. The truth is that it would be irresponsible of us to neglect an industry where the sons of this soil risk their lives on a daily basis to feed this nation. All Barbadians, I implore you, let us fish for change. Barbadians, I urge you to eat more fish. Let us continue to support our fisher folk. Personally, I no longer eat fish only to humble and satisfy my hunger, but I eat fish now out of a greater appreciation for our fisher folk. Ladies and gentlemen, I now conclude with the fisherman's prayer. Dear God, as we sail our boats into the uncharted waters, may you be the wind in our sails. God bless our fisher folk. God bless the Democratic Labour Party, and God bless Barbados.